It is with heavy hearts that we share the passing of Judge Frank Caprio, one of America's most beloved judicial figures and a man admired far beyond the courtroom. Born on November 25, 1936, in Providence, Rhode Island, Frank Caprio passed away on August 20th, 2025, at the age of 88. Known affectionately as the kindest judge in the world, Frank Caprio captured the hearts of millions through his compassionate rulings, witty humor, and heartfelt understanding of the struggles people face in everyday life. His death leaves behind not just a gap in the world of law and television, but also in the hearts of those who cherished his humanity. Early life, family background. Frank Caprio's story begins in the Italian-American neighborhood of Federal Hill in Providence. His father, Antonio Caprio, emigrated from Tiano, Italy, and worked tirelessly as a fruit peddler and milkman. His mother, Filomena dello Iacono Caprio, was born in Providence to a family originally from Naples, Italy. Frank was the second of three sons. He grew up in a modest home during the Great Depression, a time when money was scarce and luxuries were few. The family lived in a cold water flat in a three-story tenement. There was no hot water, and young Frank and his siblings would often go to a public bathhouse down the street just to take a warm shower. Despite these struggles, Frank's upbringing was filled with values of faith, compassion, and hard work. His father encouraged him to pursue education, famously telling him, "Someday you are going to be a lawyer. You're a good talker and you can help people. But remember one thing, you cannot charge poor people." Those words became the foundation of Frank's philosophy throughout his life and career. Education, early work. Frank attended Central High School in Providence, where he became an all-state wrestler and earned a reputation as one of the most energetic students in his class. From a young age, he worked multiple odd jobs to support himself and his family. He shined shoes, delivered newspapers, polished cars, and even worked at dawn on Sundays at the local newspaper plant. In 1958, he graduated with a Bachelor of Arts degree from Providence College. While pursuing higher studies, he never stopped working hard, often balancing 2 or 3 jobs at a time. He was determined to fulfill his father's dream of becoming a lawyer. Frank enrolled at Suffolk University Law School in Boston, graduating with a Doctor of Law degree in 1965. During law school, he worked as an American history and civics teacher at Hope High School, while also coaching the wrestling team. He simultaneously served in the Rhode Island Army National Guard between 1954 and 1962. Legal career, political journey. Frank Caprio began his career as a lawyer in 1965. Soon after, he founded the Caprio Law Firm, which he later managed alongside his son. In 1962, at the age of just 26, he was elected to the Providence City Council, where he served for 6 years. He later ran for Attorney General of Rhode Island in 1970, though he was defeated. Despite setbacks, his passion for public service never wavered. In 1985, Frank Caprio became the chief judge of the Providence Municipal Court, a position he held for nearly 4 decades. Reappointed 6 times, he became one of the longest-serving judges in Rhode Island history. His court primarily dealt with traffic violations and minor offenses, but his rulings touched millions because of his empathy, fairness, and humor. Caught in Providence, the judge who went viral. Frank's fame grew thanks to the television series Caught in Providence, produced by his brother Joe Caprio. What began as a small local TV project eventually became a worldwide sensation. The show highlighted Frank's unique style of justice, blending firm decision-making with human compassion. Clips of him forgiving struggling parents, encouraging children to study hard, or lightheartedly joking with defendants went viral online. By 2017, videos of Frank's courtroom had received millions of views, and by 2022, total views had soared past 500 million. In 2018, the show entered national syndication, even earning Daytime Emmy Award nominations in 2021, 2022, and 2023. His approach made him a global icon, showing the world that justice can be compassionate. Awards, achievements, honors. Frank Caprio's long career brought him many recognitions, including honorary law degrees from Suffolk University, Providence College, and the University of Rhode Island. The Enrico Caruso Award in 2003 for his contributions to the arts. The Producers Circle Award at the Rhode Island International Film Festival in 2018. Induction into the Rhode Island Heritage Hall of Fame. In 2023, his courtroom was officially renamed the Chief Judge Frank Caprio Courtroom, a permanent tribute to his legacy. Family, personal life. Frank Caprio's personal life was deeply tied to his family. He was married to Joyce Tibaldi Caprio for 60 years, and together they built a large and close-knit family. They had 5 children: Frank T. Caprio, who served as Rhode Island's general treasurer; David Caprio, who served in the Rhode Island House of Representatives; Paul Caprio; John Caprio, who once dated American singer Paula Abdul; Marissa Caprio Pesce, whose husband John R. Pesce sadly passed away in 2018. Frank was also a grandfather and great-grandfather, and he often spoke about how much joy his grandchildren brought to his life. Outside the courtroom, Frank had many passions. He co-owned the Coast Guard House restaurant in Narragansett, Rhode Island, a business he and friends purchased in 1978. He was also a lifelong fan of the Boston Red Sox, throwing the ceremonial first pitch at Fenway Park in July 2019. He adored animals, especially dogs, and over the years owned 6 Saint Bernard dogs, all named Caesar. Despite his fame, Frank lived simply and valued family, tradition, and community service above all. Net worth, lifestyle. At the time of his passing, Frank Caprio's net worth was estimated at $5 to $10 million, earned through his law career, television syndication, real estate investments, and his restaurant business. However, wealth was never his true measure of success. He often reminded people that his greatest fortune was his family, his students, and the lives he impacted through his work. Illness. Final days. On December 6, 2023, Frank Caprio publicly announced that he had been diagnosed with pancreatic cancer. He courageously underwent treatments and radiation therapy, sharing updates with his followers while remaining optimistic. On August 19, 2025, he shared a final message from his hospital bed in Providence, letting fans know he had suffered a health setback. Surrounded by his family, Frank passed away on August 20th, 2025, at the age of 88. Frank Caprio's legacy goes far beyond television. He was a teacher, a mentor, a family man, and a symbol of fairness and compassion. His unique way of handling cases turned routine courtroom proceedings into moments of inspiration, showing that justice is not only about punishment, but about understanding and humanity. From a poor immigrant neighborhood to becoming one of the most admired judges in America, Frank Caprio's journey is a shining example of perseverance, kindness, and service. Rest in peace, Judge Frank Caprio. The world will remember you not just for your rulings, but for your heart.